18 taught me what no textbook, no classroom, no guru could ever teach. That life doesn't care about your balance, your feelings, your mood, your emotions. None of that matters. Sounds harsh? Good, because it gets deeper. I faced brutal loneliness, battled my own mind, and there were times where I was just cutting the leaves and not the roots, and so the problems and mistakes kept creeping up no matter what. What does that even mean? Well, stick around. I'm about to share the raw, unfiltered life lessons that I learned in my 18th year, and I'm sure that these data sets will help you in your own life and you can 10x your growth because you'll avoid all these mistakes. So, my fellow traveler, without any further ado, let's get started. Alright guys, the first life lesson that I learned in my 18th year is there's no such thing as work-life balance. And trust me, this journey that you've embarked upon is gonna be lonely, man. There will be times where you're gonna fight your own thoughts, you're gonna argue if things are gonna work out. And also there's gonna be certain period of time where you don't have the time to meet your friends, you don't have time to do all the things that you love. It's just put your head down, work, and just keep moving forward, because if you lose the momentum, you'll slack behind. And so you have to understand that there's no such thing as work-life balance. Either you go all in or all out. There's no such thing as middle, guys. You either go up or go down. You can't stay here, right? So yeah, this was something I had to learn, because initially in my 17th year, I thought that I could balance my work and my life and have a fruitful life, but I figured out that there's only two things that can happen in life. You either go up or you go down. You cannot go straight, guys. And honestly, going in a straight line and having that flat lifeline is not a fruitful way to live, because life is all about ups and downs, and it's only fruitful because you go up and down, right? I know that few people are gonna watch this video and be like, oh, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about, that's fucking obnoxious, I can't imagine doing that. Well bro, you don't want it enough and you're not aiming for greatness, because trust me, if you think this is unhealthy, then your goals are probably not that great. I mean, sure man, if you want to have a peaceful life where you don't get to go through a lot of storms, sure, your life, you get to live how you want. But I'm saying in general, if you're watching this video, you have ambitious goals, right? So you have to endure this phase of life where there are going to be certain period of time where the level of loneliness is obnoxious, but hey, that's the price you have to pay. This brings me to the next point, guys. You have to surrender yourself to God. Whether you're a Christian, Muslim, a Jew, doesn't matter. Even if you don't believe in God, whatever you believe in, just surrender yourself to that. Because let me tell you, when you're on the path towards greatness, there will be time where you're alone, like we spoke about earlier. So during that time, no one can understand you, not your parents, not your friends, not your girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, right? No one is gonna get you. So during that time, you have to have a divine connection with God or whoever you believe in. I mean, listen man, back in 2022, 2021, I didn't believe in God, and that was the time when my life was down the drain. And one thing that I've noticed is whoever who do not believe in God, their life usually is in a downtrend. Because trust me, God does exist, my friend. Like, think about it. There is positive and negative. There is up and down. If there is evil, there will be something opposite to it. And what is that? Well, you guessed it, God. So yeah man, you have to surrender yourself to God, and with God you can make it. Trust me, in God we trust. Here's a small story for you guys. When 2025 just began, I picked up Bhagavad Gita and I started reading it. And it was during this time that I figured out that I had deeper connections with Lord Shri Krishna. And I knew that with him, I can triumph in any realm of human endeavor, and I completely surrendered my soul to him. And in that book, I realized that life is one big war with not the world, not the people, but with yourself. And Bhagavad Gita itself is a book for self-realization and for battling the internal wars that you have on a daily basis. So yeah man, that was a quick story on how I deepened my relationship with God. So yeah, you have to build that connection, guys. If not, it's going to be really hard, and You cannot endure the time when the storms do come. So yeah, make sure you build a good connection with God. How? Pray. When you're meditating, ask God, man. God is really merciful, and just have your consciousness towards the higher self, which is God. In Bhagavad Gita, it talks about Krishna consciousness. So I'm pretty sure there are the same principles in other religion too. So yeah, believe in God, believe in His steps, and believe in His work, and you shall triumph. Alright guys, the third lesson I learned is you have to adapt the experiment lifestyle. Initially in my 17, 16, 15 years, I used to listen to what people tell. I used to listen to their routine, their way of thinking, their ideologies, their worldview, everything, right? But the thing is, everyone are different. What works for one person will not work for you. So that's where the experiment lifestyle comes in play. It's a very simple definition. The experiment lifestyle states that whatever principles, ideologies, or ideas you come across, don't just listen to it. Take that idea, ideology, and principle and experiment it. Just like the scientist, man. If he finds a new idea, what does he do? He does not believe that XYZ is the final outcome. He takes that, experiments it, observes it, and after that he comes to a conclusion. So why not take the same principles and ideologies and apply it into your own life, right? For example guys, let's talk about the fitness industry. People always claim that this diet is the best, keto diet is the best, blah blah blah, right? Do not listen to them. Try each and every single one of them and experiment with them. See what works best for you. And with this, you're going to have solid data where you can work and build up the foundation. So you get the idea, right? This applies in every single thing, guys. People tell, oh, cold DMs is the best, emails is the best, advertising is the best, cold calling is the best. Nah, man, shut the fuck up. Don't listen to them. Adapt the experiment lifestyle. So you are gonna try every single thing and come up with a conclusion. I've made a video on this. If you want, I'll link it down in the description. I call this the experiment lifestyle, and I'm sure this is going to aid you in your journey. So yeah, make sure you adapt the experiment lifestyle. Alright guys, the next life lesson that I learned is that inner voice inside your brain that always tells you that you're not good enough, you're not capable. It talks about your insecurities and it tells all bad things about you. You know that voice, right? We all have that voice. Just know that voice will never ever go away. And that's the harsh reality, man. You have to be okay with it, and you have to be strategic with your voice, and you have to counter with it. You always have to strive to become the best possible version of yourself, regardless of what the voice tells inside your mind. Every time you wake up, your mind says that, why are we waking up so early? We can just sleep. We have done so and so yesterday, and it's fine if we sleep, right? Your brain tries to rationalize every single thing, and it wants to keep you comfortable, which is not a bad thing, by the way. We are evolved to be as such, because think about it. Our ancestors were in the wild, always hunting, getting killed, who knows what, right? So our DNA is wired as such, and our brain wants to keep us away from any resistance, right? But that does not help us in our personal development journey. So just know that you always have to fight that voice inside your head and never ever give in to it, man, because the moment you start listening to it is the moment your life starts going down. If you do not pay attention to that voice, and if you let that little monster grow, it'll keep feeding on you little by little by little, and it'll grow into something big, and by the time you realize it, it'll conquer you, man. That's why you have to conquer your mind and that voice first. But however, it does not go away. So I know this sounds a little bit confusing, but here's the thing, guys. That voice in your head will not go, but you have to conquer it. How? Meditation, breath work, reflection, be introspective. Do all this, and on command you can shut that voice off by your will, right? The next life lesson is stop cutting the branches of the tree, the bad fruits, the leaves, because guess what? They all can grow out easily, right? You have to combat the root cause. Most of us go through life cutting out the bad branches, the bad leaves, the bad fruit, not realizing that it always keeps coming up after a certain period of time. So that's why it's really important to treat the root problem, because if you don't do that, it'll always grow back, right? Like, just think about it, guys. You plant a seed, and that seed becomes into a plant, and what happens when you cut the plant stem? It'll grow up, right? That's the same for your bad habits. That's the same for whatever thing that is holding you back, because if you always try to clear it off for a short period of time, just know that it's gonna come back. So that's why you always have to what? Tackle the root problem. Instead of cutting out the stem, take out the roots. For example, many of us have a lot of addictions, right? Whether it's gaming, watching porn, XYZ, whatever. So what's the root problem of it? Why do you indulge in such activities? Is it the boredom? Is it your lust? Is it the dopamine addictions you get from both video games and watching porn? Like, find out the root cause and find out the root problem. You have to sit down, go back into the past and analyze why you even started it. How did you come across it? Is it aiding your journey? By doing so, you're going to find out the root problem and take out the root, guys. Don't let it grow, because we all know that if we cut the stem, no matter how many times ever, it will always keep growing. So that's why tackle the root cause, pluck it out and throw it, because quite frankly, it does not serve you. So that's the life lesson I learned, which is really valuable. Whatever problems, addictions you have, go back to the past, analyze and see how it all started, and take out the root problem and the root cause. Do not go to temporary solution, guys. This applies in every area of your life, not just addictions. And the next life lesson I learned in my 18th year was focus on private victories, guys. Oftentimes we tend to focus only on the public victories. We think that most of the successful individuals we look up to manage to achieve all of that overnight or in just 1 month, 2 months, 1 year, 2 year, whatever, right? But what we don't see is the private victories that had to go through. The early mornings, the missed out movies, the sacrifice they had to make to get to that position, the hate they had to endure, the pain, suffering, loneliness they had to go through. Like, we don't see all of these things, but private victories lead to public victories. So I learned that instead of focusing on the public victory, why not double down on the private victories and focus on the inputs, and the outputs will manifest itself. For example, I run an advertising agency and I do sell digital products, right? So my inputs is more content creation, more outreach, more DMs, cold emails, you name it, right? So these are all my inputs, and the outputs will be more clients, more customers, more sales, and you name it. And the private victories on my side is the early mornings, always making sure to working out, saying no to movie nights, protecting my peace and protecting my time, and honestly saying no to things, because quite frankly, I'm not in the stage where I can enjoy all the pleasures and I have to stay locked in. So these are my private victories, right? So I have to focus more on them, and the public victory will manifest as such. So yeah, this is an incredible, invaluable life lesson that I learned. I hope you utilize this to the fullest. And this life lesson brings me to the next. Make sure you celebrate your private victories. I still remember, man, my first ever sale. I was over the moon. I was so happy. I'm like, yes, I did it. I finally made my first sale. Like, that feeling cannot be matched to anything, man. So yeah, you have to celebrate your private victories, because gratitude is key. It doesn't only have to be about sales, guys. You can celebrate when you send 30 DMs, 100 DMs per day, right? You can celebrate when you make a YouTube video, when you upload that reel, when you contact that client, that prospect, whatever it is. These are all your private victories. Make sure you celebrate, enjoy, and be grateful for it, because always have this in mind, guys. What you're currently in, that is someone else's dream. So you have to be grateful for it, right? The next life lesson is the garden theory. I know most of you know this, but I'm gonna tell it anyways. Focus on building the garden and become the flower inside it. So how do we build the garden? Well, that's a good question. Build a business and get a solid cash flow, build a body, mind of a stoic, make sure your spiritual connection with the divine personality of Godhead is in check, you take care of your parents, you take care of your health, and you focus only about you, right? In the building stages, all your focus should be on building the garden, which are all the things that I told you just now. And after you've built the garden, become the flower inside it. And when you're the flower inside a garden, we all know that the butterflies come towards the flower effortlessly. And that butterfly being women, parties, cars, watches, whatever you like, right? But however, you have to endure the temporary pain and suffering that goes through in building that garden and becoming that flower. Because again, the storms will come, will test you, and will tempt you to stop building. And that's where winners and losers are separated. The next life lesson that I learned, guys, you have to be okay with people misunderstanding you, with people hating you, and with people not matching with your energy, and it's fine. Let me share a short story. My parents wanted me to get 95 plus in my final 12th board exams, and I didn't manage to get 95 plus, and they misunderstood me a lot. Because here's the thing, guys, I stay in my room, work on my business, work on my personal brand, XYZ, right? And what my parents thought was the full day I used to sit in books, study them, and basically be a bookworm, right? They thought I would get 100, 95, 98 and something like that. But what they didn't see was I was balancing both my business and my studies, so I had to allocate my time properly. So my business don't slack off and even my studies don't slack off, which I managed to do pretty well. But my parents didn't like that. They misunderstood me. They think that I'm still a kid who doesn't know anything in life. They think that I'm still a kid who pretends to study but is actually dumb to even understand stuff, and I'm okay with it because I know that on the journey towards greatness, people are gonna misunderstand you and people are gonna hate you, and I'm okay with that. So yeah, that was a little storm I had to battle in the last few months, I would say. It was really unpleasant, man. It was really uncomfortable. Trust me when I say this. So yeah, this even applies to your life. People and your parents are going to misunderstand you, and it's fine. You don't have to explain to anyone. You just have to know that you're doing this for yourself, and only you, your opinions, your thoughts, your ideas, your habits and your systems matter. Others' opinions, them judging you, doesn't matter. It's painful, it's uncomfortable, but you have to endure it. Alright guys, the next life lesson that I learned was prioritizing my health even more. I got into biohacking, I took care of my health even more, and I studied what genetics and epigenetics is. So basically, long story short, your genetics, your DNA, which were passed on by your parents, do not define you and do not define all your characteristics, because there's something called epigenetics. You control how your body reacts and you control certain things in your life. How? Diet, sleep, working out, getting sunlight, etc., etc. Do all this and you control your DNA, you control your genetics. How? Because your epigenetics collects all the new data by you dieting, you eating well, you sleeping. I'm not saying some random bullshit, guys. There are studies done on this, so you can search it up if you want. Genetics is no longer an excuse for all the NPCs who cry about genetics, who say that, oh, my dad is short, even I'm short, he's fat, even I'm fat. Nah bro, shut the fuck up. You can change the way you look, the way you feel, and the way you perceive life and experience life. So yeah bro, like I was saying, you totally have control over your body. And if you want few tips, well, buy red light therapy, buy gua sha for your face, fix your diet, eat a lot of fruits, raw honey, fantastic, eat a lot of eggs, get 8 hours of sleep, work out, get instant sunlight, and these are all the basics. If you nail this down, guys, you don't have to worry about anything. And remember, this, what is this? This is your temple. You have to protect your temple. He who destroys his temple, God shall destroy him. Why? The Holy Spirit dwells inside us, and you have to honor God, and you have to honor His glory. The next lesson is there is no competition in the world. What do I mean? Well, every day when you wake up, it's just you versus you. That's it. You don't have to compare yourself to anyone. You don't have to think about others' opinions, because every single day when you wake up, all you have to do is battle yourself and conquer yourself and become 1% better. That's it. It's just you versus you, and your goal is to beat the yesterday version of you. That's it. And yeah man, the last life lesson is you have to tap into the science of self-learning. Let me show you this book. It's really wonderful. Well, this is The Science of Self-Learning. Well, it says that basically you as an individual can learn anything you want. It's not the same traditional old bullshit that they teach in the Matrix, well, aka university, colleges, schools, whatever. So the science of self-learning states that whatever that you have been programmed to believe, the ideologies, the principles, they're all crap. You get to discover what truth means to you, and you get to discover any topic you want. So this book is going to do wonders in that. So yeah, after reading this book, I learned new things way easier and way quicker, guys. You always have to keep nurturing your mind, and you always have to keep learning new data sets, new topics, new principles, and apply it into your own life, because the moment you stop learning is the moment your brain starts degrading. After I read this book, guys, I studied the universal laws, like all the 12 laws in the universe. I studied myself, I studied my thoughts, I studied my actions, my habits, everything about myself, and I got to know more about me. Like, think about it. How much do you know about you? If I asked any question in the world about you, will you be able to answer it? The answer is no. Let's be honest. That was me like a few months ago, until I read this book. So you have to discover certain things about your life, about you, about your traits, your characteristics, and work on it. Find out what your weaknesses are and work on them. Only then you can see real progress, and only then you shall reap the rewards of living a fruitful life. That's it for today, guys. I hope you really enjoyed this video, and I hope these lessons will aid you in your journey towards greatness. My 18th year was wild, man. I had some crazy moments where I thought I was winning, I was cooking, and I had crazy moments when I thought my life cooked me. So a lot of ups, a lot of downs, a lot of learning, a lot of self-realization, and I will always have this mindset. I will always keep learning new things, and I will always make sure that I record a video. When my birthday comes up next year, I'll record a video and share all the life lessons that I learned. So yeah, I really wish the best for every single one watching this video, and I hope these life lessons aid you in your journey, as I said. And as always, you know it all, man. Oh wait, before I let you go, I want to share a fantastic quote with you. Always remember this, guys. Do not forget your bloodline and those who have gone long before you. There are armies, warriors, philosophers, and all people that live and echo through you. You are the one who now carries the bloodline. So every day, walk with pride and honor. For before you, there were many, my friend. And with that, I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.